All right, geometry, another pretty easy one, and that's lesson 11.4, volumes of prisms and cylinders. So a prism, the volume is base times height, which base, or the B, is the area of the base. So if we're looking at a rectangular prism, I know you guys are used to volume equals length times width times height. Same thing applies, because when you're dealing with the area of that base, isn't it just 6 times 3? And then times your 4? So here, I would do volume is base times height. So my base is 3 by 6, and then my height is 4. So 12 times 6, 72 centimeters, and now it's cubed because we're dealing with the volume, so we're dealing with cubic units because we're multiplying it by 3 separate units. Therefore, our units cubed. Sorry, that's meters cubed. Okay, so the rectangular ones are easy, and they're just like the ones you have doing, length times width times height. Triangular prisms, a little bit different. The bases are always going to be your triangles. The height is the 18 centimeters. So you've got this triangle here. We need to find, because the big B of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Well, we don't know what the height of that triangle is. So back to your apothem stuff. So we know what the side length is, so I'm going to pull out my little right triangle. I know that this is 3. This is 3 sides, so 360 divided by 3 is 120, divided by 2, so we got a 60, 30. Next to the 30 is s root 3. So you would take 3 divided by root 3, so you'd have 3 root 3 over 3, which would just give you root 3. So that means your height is root 3. So now, when we're trying to find our volume, we're doing the 1/2 base times height plus the height, or times the height of the prism. So this right here is going to be 1/2. Your whole base of that triangle is 6. Height is root 3 times the height of that triangle, which is 18. Okay, so half of 6 is 3. 3 times 18 is 54. So I would write this as 54 root 3 centimeters cubed. Done. Okay, that's all that's to it. Make sure, like I said, make sure you're back to those basic formulas from Chapter 10. That's why Chapter 10 was so important, because you've got to utilize all of those formulas. Okay, the rectangles, the rectangles, the triangles, the circles, all of those formulas are coming into play with the volumes and the surface areas. Okay, so there was an example of each one of those. Pull this over to the other side. The easy ones, the cylinders. So there's your volume formula. Volume is pi r squared h. So here's your cylinder. So I would say volume is pi. My radius is 16 squared. Height is 11. So this is going to be pi 256 times 11. Let me grab my calculator over here. So 256 times 11, 2,816 pi. So it's going to be 2,816 pi centimeters cubed. Okay, 2,816 pi centimeters cubed. Leave it in terms of pi. Okay, a lot of the times they're going to ask you to leave it in terms of pi. Now, volume is different from surface area. Volume is the amount inside of a shape. So let's say you were building, for instance, my husband just built me a garden box. We have to figure out how much volume of dirt we have to fit into that box. That's how much goes inside of that box. Okay, so this is what we are doing today. Cylinders and prisms. Again, guys, don't make this stuff difficult. It's easy when you write every single thing out, just plugging in formulas. Okay, so there it is, volumes of prisms and cylinders.